What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone is doing well. What a surprise here. The Celtics come away with another big win. This one coming against, and I know this got some people upset last time, but the worst team in the league in the San Antonio Spurs. The final score of this game was 117-98. The Celtics are now officially halfway through the season and are 20-0 at home and 32-9 throughout the whole year. The last time Boston started 32-9 was the 2010-2011 season. If you guys remember that team, I'm dating myself here, but it wasn't the most successful season. They got bounced in the second round by the Miami Heat and one of the best versions of LeBron James we've ever seen. I think this season will be a little bit more successful than that one, but anyways, let's get into tonight's game. This is one of those games I find it difficult to talk about because the level of competition the Celtics are facing is just extremely inferior, and that's no disrespect, but it's just the truth. And look, I'm a firm believer that all 82 games matter. Each one is a small building block towards that championship, but sometimes a game can be simply summed up by saying this team handled business tonight, and that's exactly what the Celtics did. If there is anything to take away from tonight's game, it's about Jrue Holiday. Throughout the season, I think we've all recognized his importance on the defensive end. His all-defensive caliber year so far, his ability to control possessions, commanding that zone, and his unique ability to truly guard 1 through 5. But I think something us fans have been watching closely is Jrue on the offensive side of the ball. There's been some rumblings that he hasn't necessarily lived up to expectations, but I don't think that could be farther from the truth. Holiday is the same guy he has always been on that side of the ball, but what we are seeing is just selfless sacrifice. This is Holiday's lowest usage since his rookie year. There's only one ball to go around and the other guys are that talented where Holiday becomes the fifth option on occasion. But that doesn't mean he isn't living up to expectations. What he's asked to do a lot of the times is to hit open threes and handle the ball, and he is doing that beautifully. He is the best corner three-point shooter in the NBA, shooting 61%. Again, it's more sacrifice than him declining or something like that, and I think this month has been a perfect example. This team has had KP out here and there, and D-White slumping a bit, so it's no coincidence that Jrue has had 3 20-point games this month, which is more than October, November, December combined for him. And tonight was one of those games for Jrue, flying around in the defensive end, handling the ball a bit more, and shooting 85% from 3 tonight on 7 attempts. It's got to be comforting for this team that if a star goes down like D-White, KP, or even Jaylen Brown, Jrue could fill that scoring role on any given night. He's a luxury to have. But moving on to another guy who filled the role tonight, Luke Kornet. Let's give him some love. Did I ever think I'd be talking about a Luke Kornet Victor Wembanyama matchup? No, but here I am. Luke gets the spot start and finishes with 6 points, 4 assists, 9 rebounds, 3 blocks, an impressive stat line coming from a guy who is your third big and sometimes getting DNPs. I'm not going to make this Kornet talk too long, don't worry, but I often feel like I'm in a weird place with Luke. Sometimes I feel comfortable with him being that third big. He will have a game where his hands are great, defensive positioning on point, setting hard screens, but then other games I'm like, what are we doing here? And I fire up the trade machine and start searching for backup bigs. Do you guys feel safe with him as that third big, or would you rather see Kata in that spot? Or with the deadline approaching, is a third big something you want this team pushing for? Let me know in the comments below. Let's do a little Spurs talk. I thought Vic played great. He finished with 27. I still feel like he's getting too many of his looks on his own, which isn't the biggest problem. It's a skill he should have and develop, but his teammates really need to look for him more. Last time these two teams matched up, I thought Trey Jones might solve a little bit of that. He played tonight, he got the start, but it didn't seem to help much. Some people say that Victor isn't thinking the game, and once he does that, he will be even scarier, but to me, it looks like he is, and sometimes his teammates are a step or two behind him. Vic isn't ready to lead a team just yet, but it could really happen any second. Like the second half of next season, he will more than probably be there. So the time is now to surround him with some guys or a guy he could build a great two-man game with. Who do you guys think that is? If there are any Spurs fans listening, who are some guys you want to target? It seems like NBA Twitter's dream pairing is him and Trey, but I don't see the Hawks moving off Trey. But what about a homecoming with DeJounte Murray? I think that would work out well. DeJounte gets to be a PG again. Vic has a guy he could really play pick and roll with. I mean, it's a start. Some other NBA news. The Indiana Pacers land Pascal Siakam. The main pieces Indiana sent out were Bruce Brown and 3 first-rounders. New Orleans is involved shipping out Kira Lewis. In my opinion, this was a great move, especially if Pascal resigns, and Woj reports that could very well happen. He would just be a seamless fit, a big wing, great in transition, will only enhance what the Pacers have going on. I mean, they already lead the NBA in offensive rating, scoring 122 points per 100 possessions. And look down the Pacers roster, a lot of these guys rely on Tyrese to set them up, maybe aside from Benedict Mathurin, but here you bring in a guy like Pascal who is more than capable of getting his own and even makes them more dynamic with his mid-range game. Siakam ranking around the 70th percentile in all mid-range mid-range jumpers, and we've seen that time and time again in the playoffs. You need guys who can create for themselves and get to their spots, and yes, analytical people, even if that's in the mid-range. And speaking of playoffs, Pascal brings championship experience, which will only help guys like Tyrese excel in a playoff atmosphere quicker. Overall, just a great trade for Indiana. I really think it helps them on both sides of the ball, offensive and defensive, which we all know Indiana needs to improve at, and Pascal is a step in that right direction. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up right there. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe. It's the best and easiest way to support. I'm here after every single Celtics game, all 82 plus 81 I missed last game. I apologize, but we're back Friday, 119 Denver. I'm excited for that one. Jokic coming to town. Talk to you then. Peace.